Hello, my name is Jaime Herrera. I'm the Director of Service for Imperial Range. Today we're going to talk about tips and tricks on our griddle. One of the things about our griddle is that in order to maintain it, you have to do certain things all the time. You want to take care of your product as much as possible, right? So you need to make sure that you're utilizing it in the proper way. One of the things that we've seen the most is that a lot of times when we're cooking, a griddle is designed to be pretty much slide your food, right? So what we end up seeing a lot is that a lot of folks try and go like this and chop on it. Well, it's not designed to be a chopping block, right? So you have to be very careful as far as how you utilize your instruments. Granted, you can't go down like this, but when you start really slamming down the utensil on it while the unit is hot, you got to remember when the griddle is hot, it is soft, right? Or it gets softer. So therefore, if you're slamming this down, you're going to gouge it, right? And you're going to make marks. And again, remember, it's a piece of steel, it is, but unfortunately, because it does get super, super hot, it will soften up a little bit. So one of those elements of slamming things down onto it is really not a good thing to do. Also, what you want to make sure is that you always keep your griddle clean, okay? It is very, very important. A lot of times when you're not utilizing it, or maybe it's lunch and not breakfast, because breakfast you're probably going to use it a lot more. A lot of times what happens is that we start to clean and we start to go really, really fast. And what happens is that a lot of times you utilize your scraper and you're hitting this back here quite a bit. That can cause a lot of damage to the back over a period of time. So you got to make sure that if you are doing that, make sure you round it this way and not slam it, okay? Because you're going to damage the back part of the unit. So it's very important to not slam it all the time. Now, when you're cleaning it, you have to be able to take everything down this way and bring it into your trough. Again, you can go this way as well to clean this area down. The quicker you get the oil off of it, the better off you're going to be. It's going to go inside this trough right here, okay? A lot of times what we see is that we see a lot of folks that don't clean this, okay? They don't clean it very often. What happens is that you start getting residual that starts slipping this way, and the effect of that is this. What ends up happening is that you end up getting a collection of a bunch of grease down here. Over a period of 6 months, up to a year, you have such a great collection of debris and oil and all that stuff that it can catch, okay? It can catch on fire, and we all know that grease fires are not good, right? So you want to make sure that even though you're cleaning it regularly, you want to go in here, inside of here, with any type of instrument, any long instrument, with a towel and just kind of clean it out and make sure it's nice and clean. What that's going to help do also, it's going to allow you for this to be able to go in and out nicely, back and forth. A lot of times we get calls that this won't go back in because it's stuck. Well, it's because of all the oil and all the residual that is built up underneath here, okay? So it's very important that this stays maintained and cleaned at all times. I would say that every day, or even during every 8 hours, I would say it would be good to just kind of take it out and clean it, just to really maintain it and make sure that it's in top shape. So again, now what's going to happen too is this. You're going to get a lot of debris and a lot of stuff here, and then some areas may or may not burn, which will create black spots, okay? What you want to do is, once your day's over, shut it down, okay? Get it nice and cool, and then just go ahead and put some soap on it with a little hot water and let it sit for a little bit. Let it sit for a while, then come back with a brush and then just brush it off. Then wipe it down. At that time, what you can do once you're all done cleaning it, again, you move all the stuff over and you dump it back into your trough. Make sure there's no residual soap left on it whatsoever. You even use a damp cloth just to make sure that everything's off of it. Once you do that, then you can go ahead and turn it back on, and you can pour a little tiny bit of oil on it. Any type of residual that you have there, you can basically just wipe off, and it should come off pretty cleanly, okay? Now, there are some other detergents out there in the market that you can utilize. It's specially designed for that. That is to your preference. We know that some people don't like using harsh chemicals, which we totally understand. But you have to make sure that whatever you use, it's going to be to your liking, and it's going to be suitable for the grill and the stainless that's on here, okay? So make sure that you read the label. Don't just drop a bunch of oven easy off. That is not a good solution. Okay, so that's part of your cleaning. As long as you keep it clean all the time, this will last forever, okay? Again, we don't want to take the scraper and brush everything back to the back and slam it on the back of the unit. It's going to damage it. We don't want to use it as a chopping block either, okay? But we also want to make sure that we're cleaning the trough in here and we're cleaning your drip tray, okay? Very, very important. Now, a lot of times we get calls that the unit is not, or it's hotter on one side than the other, okay? What's really important about this is that you need to make sure that you're utilizing the right equipment to test the unit, okay? What we use in the factory, and most technicians have this is a temperature surface probe, okay? This is what you utilize to set it on top, and as you can see, it has a little button down here, okay? This is what's pressing up against the unit, okay? Hooks up into your meter. You're able to clearly see what the temperatures are. You can go from here, see what it's there, see what it's over here, back, and so forth, okay? So this is the recommended instrument to use for testing your temperatures. Now, what we see is we see this, which is a laser gun, right? The laser gun is good when you're testing something that's liquid or a vent or anything of that sort, right? But not on the griddle. Now the reason why is because when you point the laser, you're reflecting and it's reflecting over here, so you're really not getting proper temperatures. Now it's just a laser, so it's a tiny point, right? So you're not going to get the precision that this is having here. This is really going to pick up the solid temperature of the base of the unit, okay? So it's important to know and understand that you have to use the right equipment. Again, there's a lot of times where they'll use these on ovens. Well, you're going all the way to the back of the wall. It may be hotter there than the front, so you're really not going to get true temperatures, and that's why you utilize a different style of probe for testing ovens. Again, make sure it's a surface probe. That will work a lot better. Always make sure that you analyze and you look at your unit, making sure that nothing's coming apart or anything of that nature. Imperial grills are built very, very solid. They're built by hand, okay, here at our facility. So we're very highly confident that everything that's how it's designed and how it performs is going to be exceptional. One other thing that I want to mention is this. In the back, I mentioned earlier about the black marks, okay? Now, that could be from buildup, but secondly, it could also be that your temperature is way too high, right? So a lot of times what happens is you're not utilizing the unit and the unit just sits on high. It's going to sustain that temperature and get hotter and hotter. As you drop food onto it, it cools down the plate and therefore your thermostat kicks up. But if the unit is already really, really hot and you cool it down, it's an effect, right? Cold versus heat, it's gonna create a reaction. So you need to be careful with that, and you need to make sure that your temperatures are where they truly need to be. So if you notice that it's just turning black on this side, something's going on with either your burner or something happened here, or it's just way too hot and we need to have somebody take a look at it.